I've always been interested in creating some sort of content that other people can enjoy, but I never know exactly what to do. I'm most known for doing RuneScape content from years and years and years ago, and that's the game with which most people associate me. However, I'm also not a video game monogamist. I like to play other things as well. In fact, oddly enough, I'm usually much better at other games than I am at RuneScape, and sadly that's probably not saying a whole lot. If you look at many of the top streamers of RuneScape now, many of them do things like Ultimate Hardcore Iron Man using no prayer on PvP-only servers to solo top-level bosses with names that I probably can't even pronounce. Meanwhile, in my current state, I would probably struggle to take down Elvarg the Dragon. So that leaves me with the tough choice of trying to create content for a game that I'm just not very good at, don't have the levels to do anything interesting, and frankly, not as familiar with as I used to be, or create content for games that people might not even care about. But then I thought, what if instead of attempting to do just RuneScape and force people on Twitch to watch me level up magic levels just so I can high LQ bows again, or forcing viewers to watch obscure games with which they have no real connection, what if instead I somehow brought the world of RuneScape to those other games? It was once said in a video about why people play RuneScape. People play because they can make whatever goals, rules, and challenges they want in a game and then hold themselves to those rules. Okay, yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but what if I could take that same mentality and apply it to other games? And also, what if I played those other games but put a RuneScape spin to it? What if I held myself to those new RuneScape rules throughout the game? Yeah, I could still make old school RuneScape content, maybe, but what if I could make RuneScape crossover episodes and find the best of both worlds? What if I stopped asking myself these what if questions and just got on with this video? So for my first challenge, I decided to play Kerbal Space Program. But how can we take a game about orbital mechanics and delta V rocket equations and apply RuneScape to that? Well, it's not brain surgery, it's just rocket science, so why not take something from RuneScape and try to put that into space? Okay, but what should I use that would keep this challenge interesting? What's the most RuneScape thing you can think of, like other than Gods Exposed or a Timbo tree or a cabbage or something? Well, for me, the first thing that popped into my mind was the Castle of Lumbridge. It's pretty much the first thing you see when you plop into the world of RuneScape. It's in the free-to-play area, and when you use the home teleportal, it takes you straight to the castle. So for me anyway, you take one look at it and just think RuneScape. So how exactly do you build a castle of any type in a game that's all about the center of mass, aerodynamics, the ability to build things symmetrically in a circle? Well, it's not easy, which I guess was sort of the point. Long story short, how do we make something like this into a castle? So there are different parts here, as you can see, and then this thing up here called structural, this is just meant for like random stuff. So this is going to be our go-to. So we do have structural panels here that are things that you can place on top of there like this, and that's nice and square. So to build our castle, what we need to do is really just like start slapping these together like this and making a square object out of these panels. And now one of the sad things is, for whatever reason, the radial symmetry that you can normally turn on. So like if you have like a normal, like a space tank, like this, and if I were to like slap one of these panels on the side of this, you'll get like radial symmetry. So if I wanted to put like one here, I would get 4 on the other side. But for whatever reason, if I do it on this guy here, it doesn't do the radial symmetry. So you've got to do each of these individually, which is a big pain in the butt. Anyway, so back to the castle. So this is the general idea of like you make the castle with the square blocks. And the second part, the hard part too, is we want sides on our castle. So this is the roof. The roof looks good. If I want to put a side on it, it's really difficult to like kind of line these up and get them to, like it doesn't want to connect this way. If you've got it pointing one way, these panels behave differently. So fortunately, there's this rotate feature over here. So if I put it like this, and I want to make this a wall, I can treat this kind of like a big origami puzzle, and I kind of click this rotate, and the rotate, if you have this snapping feature on, you can keep it 90 degrees. So you just rotate it down and boom, you've got a box like that. And so the idea here is you want to lay out your castle like one big origami piece and one flat thing. And then when you get it, everything in the position that you want, you fold it all down into position. Hope it doesn't look like a swan and it looks more like a castle, and then you're done. So the final thing you want to do is grab these smaller pieces. Whoop, not that one. Should be this one. You grab these smaller pieces and same thing. You're going to pop that on there. You're going to grab that. You're going to rotate it up and do that over and over. And then you're going to have a castle looking thing. So that's essentially what I did for this build. So what I ended up doing is I created 3 levels. So let me show you like the first level. So first we go to, I made this one a little more to scale. I've got this deal. So I've got like the ramparts here. I added like kind of these parts as windows. I've got these radiator things as doors. I added a flagpole. This is pretty much to scale in RuneScape of the top floor where the bank is in the Lumbridge Castle. So once you've got this built, the idea is to build a second level, which I've done. So you would go to open, and they've got this. So I built the second part here, and they got this option to merge, and I can slap in this whole second level of the castle, and then try to get these to connect like a big Lego. And pop, there it goes. Okay, so we still got that gap, but we could rectify that by this move feature right here. So if I click on this, I reach under and I click on that, I can actually drag the whole bottom portion up until it lines up, and boom, we've got 2 levels of the Lumbridge Castle. So anyways, you got the general idea. You'd stack it up like a wedding cake. You throw everything together. And then when you finally got everything together, it will look something like this guy here. Yeah, so I've created some beams here. There's actually flags in the game that you can put on your rocket ships. I put the flags up on the thing. I've used these RCS thrusters as the cannons, so it's fairly accurate. It's to scale, according to RuneScape geometry. I don't know what the unit of measure in RuneScape is. 1 cubit or rubit. 1 rubit. Runit. Runit. We'll go with runits as the unit of measure. But yeah, it's 1 runit. The area of space that a person takes up when they're standing on it. This is accurately to scale. So I got these guys kind of as the stairwell. I didn't really know what to do with the stairwell either. This has to be somewhat aerodynamic. I don't want to pop a big hole in the top of my thing, because I actually got to get this to space. The idea here is to somehow launch this guy into orbit. And I don't know if this is even possible when I was looking at it, because if you notice here, here's the stats of this castle. This is 89 tons, which is amazingly heavy for a rocket. I'm really probably going to break my GPU doing this, because it's already struggling just to show it off like this. It's wishing it was mining Bitcoin or something instead, but it's really going to be struggling when I try to do the launch here. But, well, you know what? Let's just try this. Let's slap a rocket on there where you do auto. I've heard of auto starting, and I think I've actually turned it on at one point. It's in the option and settings. So I have to actually go back into the menu to get that, don't I? You know what? Yeah, sure, it's stock. I think that's cheating. We're not going to cheat. We're going to do it the hard way. We're doing hardcore Iron Man Kerbal here. None of this easy stuff. I mean, I could turn on cheat modes and just like slap a real small fuel tank on this and get this to space. We'll save that for later when we're not actually getting to space. We're going to try to do this the hard way. Wild only HCM KSP. Exactly. That's what we're going for here. None of this weak sauce stuff. We're ramping up the difficulty here. Okay, but let's try it. Let's hope my video card can handle this. This may take a while to load too, because there is a lot going on with this one. Oh, it loaded. Oh, as you can see how floppy this thing is with the... I should probably turn on auto strat, but I mean, what fun would that be if this thing isn't bouncing around like a pair of trampolines? Cross your fingers, guys. We're going to try to get the Castle of Lumbridge to space. Here we go, guys. Punch it, Chewy, or countdown. Full send. Okay, full send. Here we go. Full send. Oh my God, it's launching. I was not expecting it to actually take off. We are in the air, guys. This is progress. We are 300 meters closer to space than we were a second ago. We're probably going to run out of fuel, but look at this guy. Look at this guy bending. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like having a stroke. Oh, it's really wants to go. The aerodynamic. Yeah, there we go. It broke. It snapped in half, and then we're gone. Almost did it. We got up to. We got up to 2,000. Yeah, I think we went supersonic. Oh, no, I don't think we got supersonic. I don't even think we're close. But oh, you know what? It straightened back up. It wants to try to get. I think we have to strut this a little bit more. This is. This is not going to work in its current state. I'm actually curious how robust this castle is. Do a barrel roll. Do a kickflip. As you can see, like you can see, the structural integrity of this guy is not up to OSHA standards, I don't believe, but it is sticking together, which is more surprising. You can kind of see the innards there, but I'm actually surprised it is hanging together. So I need to wait for the solid fuel to burn off here. Once that goes, we're gonna crash this thing into the ground. Oh my gosh! Look! Oh my gosh! It just snapped in half. Oh, the castle survived. The rockets are off on their own, but the castle is together. It may make a water landing here, which is not what I want. I actually want it to land on the ground. I want to see if parts are flying off left and right there. Saw something going there. Can I turn on the engine? This thing. Activate this guy. There we go. Full power. I don't believe we're not going to get on land, so this thing's going to disappear into the ocean. Everybody give it a salute as we give it a water burial. It was a fun ride. Lumbridge Castle. Into your watery grave. Be a part of Atlantis. Oof. Oh, look how much of it survived, though. It's floating. I wasn't expecting that. That's actually kind of amazing. The floating Castle of Lumbridge, now a part of the city of Atlantis. I was not expecting that indestructibility. So, how are we going to make this so it doesn't fall apart? I honestly don't know. I thought if you look inside this thing, we go in for a colonoscopy here, you can see that, I mean, I strutted the crap out of this thing on the inside already, but you can see that it's still struggling to hold together. Maybe if I throw a few of these guys on, it won't be as floppy. I think our best bet is to try to strut what we can. Maybe go to auto starting. Yeah, I know it's pretty much just losing the hardcore tag on our hardcore Iron Man Kerbal guy, but we may have to resort to that just to get this guy to space. But we'll see what we can do. We got options here. There's options. What I can do though is add some of these thruster ports. Maybe put them above the flags. Try to make them look as inconspicuous as possible, because these aren't really features of the Lumbridge Castle. We want to make it look as Lumbridgey as possible. I believe there's gargoyles that are right here on the castle. So maybe I could slap an RCS thruster block right here, and we can just call that a gargoyle, and that's not actually cheating. It's a legitimate modification. I think we're going to be okay. Let's just see how this does. I'm curious how the RCS is going to help, and how the extra strutting on the inside is going to do anything. So everybody hold your breath, cross your fingers, start counting down from 99, 99, 98, 97, 97. Oh, we're still flexing. We still had flexing issues. That's not good. I may actually have to turn on auto starting. I don't know if this is going to work, but here we go. Full send. Let's go. We got the RC. Oh, you know what? I don't have RCS fuel on this thing, so this is probably going to do the exact same thing it did before. I mean, it does have a little bit extra strutting. It's not flexing as badly. No, this guy's still... The strutting on this is not working. It still wants to flex over. It's still trying to fold itself in half. I don't have any RCS fuel, so that's not going to help. Look at this guy. Struggle to stay And we're broken. Yeah, okay, so I lost my castle. There we go. Here's my castle. I've disconnected from the assembly. It's going to go pile drive itself into the world. Almost, yeah, almost. If only we were playing hand grenades. We're going to get this thing to space. We may not be hardcore Iron Man when we do it. We may have been killed in the wild a couple of times. But we'll get this here. What can we do? I'm going to have to auto-strut. I don't think there's... I mean, I added the strutting in there, and you can see that did all of nothing. It was still ripping itself apart. So let's... And if this doesn't work, we may have to come back to version 2 where I just flip it on its side and build it sideways, which is going to be a total pain in the butt. I have no idea how I'm going to build that thing sideways, but at least we can wrap a... we get the fairing around it. Not that that's going to help anyone. Auto-strut. So do I have to click on here? Oh, there we go. Auto-strut. Oh, so I do have to do this for every single part. Good God. This is going to take months. So I need one of those speed montages or 5 hours later. Okay. Oh, it looks a little bit better. It looks better. You know what? I didn't auto-strut the top, but the sides aren't flopping around as badly now, which is a good sign. So let's turn on our RCS and SAS. We're going to launch it. So far, so good. It's a little bit of flex here. You can see it's bending a little bit in the front, which isn't good. Oh, and we just... Oh, I'm sorry. That's the top here. And we're flipping over. We're going to need some more... Oh! It's still tilting for. We still have... Oh, look at these. The RCS is working overtime trying to say... I think we're a little... And snap. Yeah. Okay. Let me... Oh, nope. We're going to lose it. We're going to lose it. Oh, it's too much drag on the top. All right. And there we go. Yep. Let's go. Oh, it doesn't even have enough thrust to get off the pad. Look at these guys are trying as hard as they can. Oh my gosh, it's... Oh no. Launch it, go. Before it falls off the pad. Oh my God, what is going on? Okay, here we go. Go. Launch it. Get up in the air. Oh, it's not taking off. I think I've built myself a hovercraft. So, as you can see, my lack of a PhD in rocket science has finally come back to bite me. We were never able to get this thing into space during this past live stream, but we could always do it in a future one. I'm hoping to make these crossover ideas a reoccurring thing, and if you have any thoughts for how I can launch a 90-ton castle properly into space, or even just have other ideas for crossover episodes, even RuneScape-specific stream goals, please let me know in the comments. The plan is to stream these games live on Twitch so that everybody can be free to join me and hang out and have some fun. I could chop the resulting footage down into a somewhat interesting summary and save myself loads of shooting, reshooting, editing, even more reshooting, and then more editing. So feel free to join me and others on Saturdays as we play these games and chat on my Twitch channel. Hope to see you all there.